Good morning. Welcome to Hype-A-Thon. It is Saturday morning. Beautiful day. The sun is rising. You'll be able to hear squirrels. You'll be able to hear some of our neighbors' dogs. You'll be able to hear the fixing some of these audio issues. We're going to get started this morning. We are doing Hype-A-Thon. So what is Hype-A-Thon? Hype-A-Thon is many creators coming together doing 24 hours of live stream. The purpose is to learn more about each other, but also to build community. I want to give a special thought to Joe, motivation from the weightlifting geek. He's organized this event this morning. I put a community post together. Also, I have the description of this live stream. If you have time today, there are many wonderful creators participating in this live stream over the course of the day. Many of them are working toward monetization. So please check out those various channels when you get a chance. I want to acknowledge a couple of folks this morning. It's been a while since I've used StreamYard. So let's see if I can figure out how to put these comments over here. There we go. We have Jamie here from Lower Michigan Hiking and Camping Adventures. Good morning. No surprise you're an early riser just like I am, my friend. Also have Bronzeberg, another Hype-A-Thoner. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to joining all the different live streams today. I have a few appointments, so I won't make them all, but I will plan on making quite a few of them. First things first, I got some coffee this morning. Who's drinking coffee with me this morning? Put your comments over there. So before we get started, I do want to talk about the YouTube channel, some history, challenges, different experiments that I've done. What's next? We have a real exciting event coming next Friday. First things first, though, I have a book. It's a daily word for men. My pastor gave me this. So I want to share July the 8th. It's talking about perseverance, which is a really good topic for today. The verse is Romans, light's not great out here, Romans 5, 3 and 4. We also glory in tribulation, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. I learned a long time ago never to pray for patience or perseverance because those things are a natural result of life. But yes, I have experienced many things that have caused perseverance. 10 years ago yesterday, we had a devastating house flood. I shared some of that with some personal friends. That was a 6-month ordeal that resulted in a lot of lessons learned. Jamie says he has already drank his coffee and he's out on the trails doing a 5-mile warm-up. I won't be hitting the trails today, Jamie. We got some contractors coming to the house after this live stream is over. So by the time they're done, it'll be about 95 degrees here in Tennessee. Not great weather for getting out. Looking forward to some cooler weather like in Colorado last week. So let's talk about the YouTube channel. First of all, I just celebrated 3 years. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years on this platform. Been a change about 6 or 7 months in. So the YouTube channel started out in a podcast format. It was me and another creator. We had conversations about lifestyle, fitness, health. Podcasts were not yet being pushed by YouTube as they are today. So it was a little bit different. Of course, just a couple of guys sitting there talking, not a whole lot of things to see. But they were great conversations. Jamie says it's dang warm. Yes, it is. And I appreciate the help that you have provided with getting to 1,000. You're going to be there in just a minute, and I'm looking forward to that as well, Jamie. So 6 months in or so, we decided that the podcast format probably wasn't ideal for this particular platform. I was a hiker. We had been getting out for years, and I hiked in a kill, which was a little bit different. Celebrate Scottish and Irish heritage that way, but it's also just a really comfortable, practical piece of clothing for the trail. So we actually had a conversation about that in the podcast format. And that video is the only video from that format that's still on my channel. It's called Hiking in a Kilt, Everything You Wanted to Know. It did really well. So that's bringing an idea. So fast forward, when we decided to retire the podcast, I wanted to keep the audience that we had built, keep the channel. I enjoyed YouTube. So I took my cell phone out and started doing some video on the trails. It wasn't great. I had an older Motorola phone. I've got a newer Motorola phone now. Sorry for those of you who love Apple. I'm an Android guy. But I just filmed on my cell phone. Some of it was vertical. Most of it was shaky. Very little editing. But it was fun. So I've been asked, why do you keep doing this after 3 years? Because it's fun. I don't want to do something that's too much of a grind. Now, YouTube is a grind. Definitely a grind. However, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. So anyway, fast forward, I picked up a piece of equipment. It was a DJI gimbal, maybe, to help stabilize some of the trail footage. And a lot of that footage is still on the channel. If you go to YouTube, they have re-implemented a feature where you can click oldest. And that's kind of nice, because if you want to see sort of the origins of a creator and how they compare to today, you can go back and watch some of that older video. That was 1080. It was not full 4K like I do today. I've learned a lot about editing. But the thing about improvement is you should be continually improving. What I've been working on lately have been audio editing. Making sure my sound levels are correct, making sure that the fading is correct, whether it's fading in, fading out, some of the lighting. But at first, it was just making sure I was telling a story. You always have to have a story when you're doing a YouTube video. I guess the exception would be if it's a vlog or a podcast type format where you could just kind of do a day in the life in. Quite frankly, on the trail, once you're seeing one tree, you've seen them all. So I might take 50, 60, 70 different clips and make it into a 7 or 8 minute video. That seems to work better. About a year and a half ago, I upgraded my camera equipment for the third time. And yes, now I do have a GoPro. That's right, Jamie. I bought a GoPro. It was a Black Friday special, so I was very happy. Jamie says I do amazing storytelling. Thank you for that, my friend. That really made a difference. Number one, on the dynamic stability. Number two, on the super view. So I have a lot of comments that people feel like they're there. And that's the purpose. The reason I did this channel was twofold. To encourage people to get outdoors and to be active. God reveals himself through nature. I know we've got what many have called a mental health crisis here in America today, and those things are certainly real. I think we've all struggled with different challenges as it relates to whether it's stress or fear or anxiety, depression, different things that people struggle with. But I am convinced that nature is a wonderful healer. You can hear my birds chirping in the background. You can see these trees behind me. The fresh air. For the 6,000 years of human history, we really haven't sat and worked on computers until the last, say, 30 years or so. We've got a comment here. Great that you are doing content on my one of my favorite activities, hiking. Yes, I love hiking. You will see some other things from my channel. Um, I do some travel videos. So if I am going somewhere, recently I was in Colorado. I did 3 videos out there. Released the first one yesterday. History of Buffalo Bill Cody, William F. Cody. So the grave and the Lookout Mountain where he's buried, as well as the museum is there. I am an entertainment channel. So different people have different opinions on historical matters. One thing I will say about that is it's an entertainment channel. So if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment, but don't be disagreeable. If you're disagreeable, no room for that on this channel. Plenty of other places and platforms on social media where you can get into arguments. This isn't it. This is a community. This is family. This is nature. This is adventure. Yeah, Jamie, I know you like the waterfalls. I appreciate the video you made for me recently. That will be coming out this Friday. I'll be talking more about that in a few minutes. We do have many wonderful waterfalls in this part of the country, and I'm really thankful for that. It's really awesome. It is a challenge during the summer to find the volume in the water. It has rained a lot this week, so if I were going out today, which again I'm not, I could find some good waterfalls. But during the summer, some of them are just a trickle or really non-existent. I've been to many summer waterfalls where there's very little there, so I have to be creative in the summer. You'll see more lakes. You'll see more travel. You might see something special. Like a few weeks ago, I did Lost Creek Waterfall and Cave. That was a spring-fed waterfall, so it's not as reliant on rain runoff. But summer is a challenge from a waterfall standpoint. Some of the other videos I've experimented with, and this channel no longer does. I did a lot of running videos early on. I am a runner. 6 years ago, I reclaimed my health. I've told that story in a video. You can check it out on the channel. Called I Lost 25 Pounds Wearing a Kilt. Kind of a catchy title and thumbnail, but it had to do with me being intentional about what I ate and running at the time. So I've met many creators through the early call them running adventures. None of those are on the channel anymore because it's really off-brand. There's some wonderful running channels out there if you're interested in learning about running tips, running techniques. I'll give a plug to my friend Coach Paul, and channel is Dev Runner. He's really an educational channel on running, and there are many others. Also did some videos on weightlifting for a while. The last 3 years, I have been getting more into weightlifting. And that is actually how I hooked up with Joe, if I remember right. Motivation from Weightlifting Geek was through one of my weightlifting videos. Those are also not on the channel anymore. Again, I want to stay focused on outdoors, nature, travel. There will be some things that are a little bit off-brand, like the Denver Fan Expo, where I was able to meet the cast from Star Trek. That was an interesting experience. So looking forward to sharing that. It is a little off-brand, but it's also a lot of fun. Jamie says that you lost 135 pounds before COVID and the lockdown. Yeah, I know you have, brother, and I know you are working. You're out all the time, and I'm really proud of the progress you've made. So that's awesome. So here, where we are today. Recently, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I reached 1,000 subscribers. That was a big goal. That was really something that I had worked hard for. It is difficult to do with long form content, which is my primary format. I have kind of succumbed to the algorithm or popular demand and been putting a lot of short content out there as well. Mostly remixes from the 300 or so hikes that I've done. But I am a long form content creator. Jamie mentions that he has a Facebook page as well. Yes, that was actually something I was going to mention. I did create a Facebook page also. Facebook is interesting. It's grown a lot faster than YouTube has for me. I'm going to pour some more coffee. Here's my thermos. I put a lot of bonus content on Facebook, mostly still shots, repost from YouTube, which is my primary platform. But it's really interesting how it's grown much faster, and I don't know if that's the platform demographics, which tend to be a little bit older audience. My typical audience member is 35 years or older. Welcome young people. I hope more young people watch the channel and get inspired to be outdoors or to get active. But I appreciate every audience member, and Facebook seems to be a little bit older demographic. Instagram, I can't figure out how to grow Instagram, and that's okay. I get a new follower or two a week, and most of them are not real accounts, so they have to go away. But again, YouTube is my primary platform. The 1,000 subscribers. Here is what is coming this Friday. I reached out to a number of other content creators, ones that have been with me for a long period of time, like Jamie, who's watching, like Joe, several others that you will know and recognize. Some of them were with me from the very beginning. Some have been with me for at least a year or more. And I asked them to put together a quick video, and they really stepped up. So I've got several videos that I am working on editing. It will be interactive. They shared some about their channel. They shared what they like about this channel. And then they asked me some really great questions. So I have started working on answering those questions. I will finish my editing over the course of this weekend, and there will be a multi-creator extravaganza next Friday. I plan to make it in a premiere format, so you'll be able to see the thumbnail and be able to click the bell to notify you when it goes live. I probably will do that on my lunch break around noon, but that's a to be determined at this point. But be looking for that next Friday. That should be July the 13th or 14th. Today's the 8th, so probably the whatever next Friday is. I don't know. I'm still drinking coffee. So here's the ask. Here's what I need from those who are either watching this on the live stream or watching this later. I have reached 1,000, which is one of the major goals to become monetized on YouTube. What I haven't reached yet, and part of the reason for doing this live stream today and then supporting others later today through their Hype-A-Thons, is watch hours. Again, I mentioned that I do a lot of editing, so many of my videos are less than 10 minutes. That is intentional. It is to make it entertaining. It is to make it consumable. We all have busy lives, but it hurts me from a watch hour perspective. So I need 4,000 public watch hours to be able to participate in YouTube's AdSense program, where I will earn money from the advertisements that they're already putting on my videos. Today, they keep 100% of that. So I would like for your help to let me keep some of the ad revenue on my own videos. How can you do that, you may ask? Well, I need about 1,700 more watch hours. So what the math on that is, if all of my subscribers would watch 1.5 hours in the next week, I'll be there. Excuse me. I realize that won't happen. So what practically am I asking? I would ask if you have an extra device, maybe an iPad, maybe a smart television, maybe an Amazon Fire Stick plugged into a television somewhere. Find one of my playlists. I have a number of playlists, and I'm going to spend some time because I have an hour today, Hype-A-Thon, talking about my playlist. But find a playlist, select play all, and let that run for a few hours. That will really help get the watch hours up. The other thing you can do that is free and will really help is to share my content with others, whether it's through a community post, whether it is through social media, maybe, and this seems to be very effective, friends or family. Like I have a number of friends that like to hike, and if they are going on a trail that I have been on or that I know another creator has been on, I'll send them a video. I shared a video yesterday because I know a friend of mine is going to a theme park in Williamsburg, Virginia. And my friend Bill Marion made a video up there about Busch Gardens. So I said, hey, watch this 8-minute video. It's very informative. It'll let you know everything you need to know about that park. Yeah, watch hours are a challenge, Jamie. I've got 1 or 2 videos that have really hit search engine optimization. Maybe I'll talk about that for a few minutes as well. They have contributed a majority of my watch hours. What tends to happen on YouTube is they prioritize new content. So I will get a new video that comes out on a Friday. It'll get a bunch of watches right away. Over the course of next several weeks, it'll get a handful of watches. Most of my content levels out between 80 and 150 views, and then it doesn't get any more. Some videos I make specifically for search engine optimization. You may hear it called SEO. Now, I realize those videos are not what my core audience necessarily is here to watch. I put one out a few weeks ago on Watts Bar, Lake, and Nuclear Plant. The one before that is doing very well, and I predict it will be a #1 video on my channel at some point, was 10 facts about Vanderbilt University. The purpose of those videos is to capture that topic. Beale Street Entertainment District, top 10 attractions is my #1 video. I get between 40 and 60 views a day on that. It's not core to what I do, but it is travel, it is adventure, it is entertaining. According to Google Analytics, Vanderbilt University gets about 4 times more search traffic than that. So if you look at Vanderbilt University, I'm #1 or 2 now. That has started getting 10 to 15 views a day. But I am trying to build watch hours that way. I intend to do some more live streams. This isn't my favorite format, I'll be honest. Joe organized this, and I am a big fan of Joe in this community. He does a fantastic job with community. That is very important on YouTube. So I wanted to participate to honor him, wanted to participate to honor the rest of the community. And I will be supporting the other creators by watching some of their live streams later today. So again, check out those comments or description below, also a community post with their channels. Great folks, all working together. So back on, let's talk about some of the types of, excuse me for just a moment. I've got a lot of windows open and I am trying to figure out how to keep them all going. So if I go to my channel and I look at some of the various playlists, let's see here. I want to talk about playlists. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. So really appreciate, let's get a refill of coffee. Appreciate you dealing with me for just a moment. Technology is a lot of fun. So let's see if we go to my channel and we go to playlists. Let's talk about some of the different playlists and some of the different content that's available. All right, I'm going to put that on this monitor over here. So I'll try to make as much eye contact as I can. You got to remember the camera's right there. Jamie, you say you're confused about SEO. I will say, if you don't already utilize this tool, I'm going to put this in the comments below. This is something I purchased Early on, Bill Marion gave me this suggestion. He has a channel with about 12,500 subscribers and growing. TubeBuddy is a fantastic tool. The link there, if you decide to buy it, I'll get a share of their revenue. So I appreciate that, but there's no obligation there. The main point is to use the tool. So here's the thing. They will provide you several things, and they've recently enhanced it with a lot of artificial intelligence tools, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So first of all, keyword explorer. The first thing I will do when I have a video idea is I will search their keyword explorer, and it gives a optimization score. It's composed of three things. It tells you how much it's searched for, how much competition you have, and how many videos are currently out there with that search. Now, obviously, because I am a location-based creator, it is not going to drastically change. It may be the Buffalo Bill Museum in Gray versus Lookout Mountain, Colorado. So that's an example of some choices I had in the last video. So I'll try to get as high an optimization score as I can. Yeah, Jamie uses TubeBuddy. Good. That's good. So you get good titles that way that are searchable titles. I also want titles that people search for. Sometimes it says insufficient data. It'll give you a really good optimization score, but if nobody's searching for that, I'm not sure how good it is to be optimized on a term nobody searches for. So you got to kind of use some human intuition with that as well. The other thing I will use besides Keyword Explorer is the SEO tool. I'm pretty familiar with their algorithm, so usually I'm already 95% optimized, and it's a result of moving some of the tags around. They do have recommended tags, and they'll show you how those are trending, so those are nice. The latest tool I've started using is the title generator. I will have a title already, and then I'll hit title generator, and their AI tool will recommend 7 or 8 other related titles. Some of them are really good. Some of them aren't. They don't seem to do a real good job with the punctuation or the English syntax and language, so you have to make some adjustments. But you'll notice my titles are a little bit more flamboyant than they used to be, and a lot of that's a result of that tool. So that's really nice as well. So yeah, enough about SEO for today. I want to talk about some of the things that people come to my channel for and some of the content that is available out there if you're not familiar. One of the playlists, and this is put up by popular demand, is waterfalls. Had a lot of comments about some of the waterfalls that I hike to and that I film. And again, that's more of a seasonal activity. Excuse me. So if you go to my channel and look at the waterfalls playlist, right now you'll see 43 videos. So that's not inconsequential. The first one is Foster Falls, a climber's oasis. Might have had some help with that title. Foster Falls is in the, it's either South Cumberland or Savage Gulf State Park. They just split. They used to all be South Cumberland. I believe Foster Falls is in Savage Gulf, the newest Tennessee State Park. It used to be called Savage Gulf State Natural Area. But now it's 2 separate parks. But anyway, Foster Falls is called a climber's loop. There are many amazing places to rock climb. That is not my activity, but a lot of people are doing that. I released a short this week. Took some video of some young people rappelling. I asked if I could film them. Always ask permission before you take photographs or video of others. But they allowed me to film them rappelling, and it was really fantastic. Hey, Joe, thank you so much for joining Hype-A-Thon. We are having a good time today. We have 9 people in the live stream today. I cannot believe it on a Saturday morning. We've got people talking to each other, and that's amazing. Yes, Joe, we have several content creators on. We have talked about the channel. We've talked about the future, the multi-content creator celebration that is coming out this Friday that you participated in, my friend, as well as others. Looking forward to that. That is going to be off the chart. Man, I know you were up way late, so thank you for coming this early in the morning. And you got a midnight live stream coming up too, so I hope you get some rest today. I know there's a couple breaks in Hype-A-Thon. What I've been asking for is some watch hours. Hit that 1,000. Need to get some watch hours. So anyone who has an extra device, wants to play a waterfalls playlist that we're talking about right now, or maybe a kilted hiking adventure playlist, that will really help the channel. So thank you so much for joining today. I'm having some coffee. I hope you're drinking some caffeine or some good ice water or something to keep that hydration going, my friend. Foster Falls. It is not only a climbing loop, but it has some really awesome features. Of course, the waterfall is off the chart. You can see it from the very top. So if you are physically unable to actually descend and see it from the bottom, you got some great views from the top. It's actually a split waterfall, the main waterfall and then a smaller one. If you are physically able to hike to the bottom, it's a relatively short hike, but it does have some de-escalation. So you have to be, have some pretty good knees. I would recommend some trekking poles or a hiking stick like the one I carry. But you can get down there pretty easily. There's a swimming hole. I've seen people swimming out there. And there's also a suspension bridge, which is one of my favorites. So that is a wonderful place. The next video on the waterfalls playlist is Denny Cove. I've made 2 Denny Cove videos. First one was last summer. Mentioned earlier in this live stream that summer in Tennessee is hot. Doesn't always rain a lot. I got to Denny Cove. There was no waterfall there. What do you do? It was an adventure. There's some great overlooks there as well. So it wasn't a total bust, and it was fun. But I tell you what, when I went back this winter, the waterfall was off the chart. There is a picture of me standing on a rock, looking at the waterfall. It is cascading down. The wind is blowing my kill. It is, I have been told, one of the most epic shots on my channel. So I've also edited that into a short, and it turned out really great. The next waterfall on that playlist I released about 4 weeks ago, and that was called Sugar Falls. So here's a secret. If you'd like to explore weekdays and early are a great time to do it. Hey, Joe, thank you so much. You're going to be running a playlist. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, playlists are a great way to help people get watch hours, and that is, thank you so much for that. Cedar Falls. I got there on a Friday morning. I looked on the website. It opened, I believe, at 8 a.m., which when I cross the time zone, which I'm right here on a time zone, you get a little extra time. Had it to myself. People ask, how do you have these places to yourself? You wake up early. You go. Just like right now, 7 a.m. I would have already been in the car if I wasn't already occupied today. But I'm so happy to be doing this live stream. I'm so happy to be supporting other content creators. Cedar Falls. This video hasn't really done very well, and I don't understand why. It isn't the most fantastic waterfall in Tennessee, but it was so remote. It had a cliff that you could walk under, and also a suspension bridge that you can shoot the waterfall from. Hello, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much for joining Hype-A-Thon. We've got 12 on the live stream today. I have never had 12 on a live stream ever. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are talking about Tennessee waterfalls right now. My channel is all about getting outdoors, seeking adventure, being healthy, embracing the creation that is available. Um, Jamie says, I did not drop a short at 3 a.m. That may be when you saw it. Um, I'm not up at 3 a.m., my brother. I have been dropping some shorts, but never at 3 a.m. So I don't know if there would be any strategy to that or not. I have been growing the channel with shorts. Um, I'm not sure those folks all watch long form content. There are some new analytics in the YouTube Creator Studio that will show you who watches shorts, who watches long form, and who watches both. Um, but what I don't know, and this is the statistician in me, those who watch long form, I'm sure get fed shorts, as you mentioned. But do those who watch shorts, we'll call them the TikTok folks, go back and watch long form? That I don't know. And I'm a long form content creator, so that's difficult. Hey, we got a new commenter on here. Thank you so much, JD. Oh boy, oh, you got a podcast. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce. Yes, I do use the All Trails app. There is a free version and a paid version. I use the free version today. I don't know if I will purchase the paid version or not. I'm sure there's much more content to it. I do research trails before I go, so I know how long, what are the conditions, what is the difficulty rating. Very important to do your research. I put out a hiking safety video. It is something I would recommend anybody who's getting into hiking to watch. It's short, it's consumable, it gives you some great tips. Some of the main things I talked about are hiking boots. Make sure you have the proper footwear. Hydration. You've got to have enough hydration, even in the winter. Very important. Paper map. Most of the time, I will do a screenshot and or a paper map because most of the places I go do not have Wi-Fi. Finishing up this coffee from my thermos here too. Speaking of hydration, cheers and good morning to everybody. I always let my wife know where I'm going. So I will, when I'm putting in the Google Maps to get to the trailhead, I will go ahead and share that with her. We have had some tragedies in the last year relating to hiking. I don't know the causes. I don't know if they are prepared or not, but it breaks my heart for those who have been injured or have lost their life on our trails here. Hiking is a wonderful outdoor activity, and I want everybody to be as safe as they possibly can. Part of that is knowing your trail and knowing yourself. You mentioned that you have started doing some walking trails, and that is wonderful. There are so many walking and hiking trails for every fitness level. I always recommend you start out on a local trail, like a park or something that is rated as easy. This is not a pride or an ego thing. This is a safety thing. You have to test yourself before you do a moderate or a difficult trail. Got some comments here. People are talking to each other. You said your son has some boots and you have some Skechers hiking boots. Really good. And backpacks. Yes, you've got to have backpacks. Tracking tags. Yes, that is great. Yeah. It's important to have the right footwear and to be safe about it. The most important thing is to get outdoors and to have fun. I'll give you an example. I am not doing lengthy hikes right now. It's going to be 95 degrees today. I can't pack enough water for that, and it's not safe. So let's talk about some more waterfalls. We have Piney Falls Loop. Piney Falls, that is a treasure. It is, however, very difficult. I would not recommend Piney Falls Loop to anybody that is not in excellent physical condition, especially the north or the counterclockwise loop. Please go and watch that video if you haven't seen it. I had read, but I had no idea there is a wire going down the side of the mountain. I'm talking a steel gauge wire where you have to climb. Thankfully, I climbed out of the loop and not into the loop. Joe says, that's a great point. It's the same way with weightlifting. Yes, you have to work your way up, my brother, on the weightlifting. No matter what we do, we have to be safe. That's right. Joe, I was sharing before you were able to join this morning that you and I connected because I used to do some weightlifting content on my channel. I no longer do that. I have more focused on my outdoor and travel activities, but I actually have a coach that I hired to teach me how to safely lift weights because I did not have that knowledge. And let's be honest, I'm in my late 40s. I don't need to get injured. So I'm not good at everything. I'm good at a couple of things, but I didn't know how to weightlift. So I hired a coach to teach me. And I have chosen as a budget item to retain that coach because that to me is an expense that is important to me. And weightlifting has transformed my health and my body. I still run and I still hike because that is great for my heart. It's great for my lungs. It's great for my mind. The Bible says that God reveals himself through nature. When you are busy in this noisy world, getting outdoors, listening, being quiet, that is so important to center yourself. We have some more comments. Joe says he remembers us connecting through me being a weightlifter. Yes, and I am a weightlifter. Actually, Joe, something I did not put on the channel, don't intend to put on the channel because it's a part of my personal life, is I trained for the first 6 months of this year for a bodybuilding contest. 3 weeks ago, I competed and won second place in the men's masters division. Now, what masters means for those of you who are young people is old people. It's a nice way of saying old people. And then grandmasters is even older than I am. It was quite an experience. It was very difficult for training and eating and meal prepping and working out that hard. I have actually written a vlog or an article about that experience. I will be posting that on my website, thekiltedadventurer.com. I still have a little more editing to do, but I will be putting that down. It is in a printed format, sharing that experience. We have a couple of more comments. You're addicted to hiking now. You caught the bug. Oh man, I tell you what, you caught the bug. Weightlifting is, it's different. So at first, I don't say that I enjoyed weightlifting. I enjoy it more now, but I enjoyed at first what it did for me. It builds your strength in your bones, in your muscles, and in your tendons and ligaments. So it really is total health. The other thing it does from a weight loss perspective, it's not as efficient as cardio for that moment. However, it changes your body in a way that you are constantly churning. You're constantly burning. It makes you into a calorie burning engine 24 hours a day. Joe says that is completely awesome. Thank you, my brother. Yes. Again, it was a very personal experience, and I shared in a recent response that I will be sharing in the 1,000 subscriber video that is coming out this Friday, that there are some things I could have done and could do to grow my channel faster. I am not going to do those things because it's not who I am. Some of the things involve, um, well, quite frankly, some of these channels, and I'm not casting any shade. I love these channels, and I watch these channels, and I consume all of their content. But that take their shirts off and kind of exhibit their physical prowess. That's awesome. I think anybody who is in shape and can do that, I give major props to. I've been married 24 years. That's not who I am. You might have seen me swimming in a couple of swimming holes from the back. That's about as far as I'll go. But anyway, that's enough talking about that. Jamie says that weightlifting and hiking are great together. Yes, they are. They're two of my favorite activities, Jamie, and I thank you for that. Another waterfall. This one everybody knows. If you're from Tennessee or if you've ever been to Tennessee, this is the one people ask about. Fall Creek Falls. Have you been to Fall Creek Falls? Yes, I have. I've made several videos at Fall Creek Falls. I went earlier this year on a weekday morning, and whereas there's usually several hundred people there, it was me and the park rangers, and that was it. I hiked the base. So Fall Creek Falls, random fact, they are the tallest waterfalls east of the Mississippi River. Now you may say, wait a minute, I've seen Niagara Falls. Fall Creek Falls is higher. Niagara Falls has way more volume, but Fall Creek Falls is higher. But again, it is very seasonal. If you go during the summer when it's dry, you will not see the volume that you saw in my video. So I hiked to the base of Fall Creek Falls. And again, the wind from the blowback was incredible. I was so wet, I had to dry off with a towel afterwards. But it was such great cinematography, whatever that word is, cinema. It was worth it. We've got more comments here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining Hype-A-Thon today. I am beyond thrilled. She says, I am not big into weightlifting, but I'm a cardio queen. I love it. I love it. You can get a lot of muscle. Yes. Cardio is such good. I taught a running class for the last 4 years. And a couple of things I'll share with you from that experience and the things that I have learned. And I recently got my group fitness certification. So I will be teaching a running class this fall in a different environment, different format, hopefully making a little bit of money. I've been doing it on a volunteer basis the last 4 years. But yes, you will grow some great leg muscles and some great cardiovascular endurance through your running and your hiking. Here's a tip for you, men. 80% of your testosterone comes from your leg muscles. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So today, this afternoon, I'll be training legs. Hey, Joe, it's leg day. Yes, I will be training legs. So I will be doing a series of leg exercises, even though I walk, run, or hike every single day, because we train legs at our gym. That's important. So back to the running for a few minutes. I will say that cardio is amazing. One thing I have learned through cardio is over time, your body becomes very efficient at whatever it is you do. The more you run, the more efficient your body becomes at running. The more you hike, the more your body learns how to hike. The more you ride a bike, I've got many friends who love to ride bikes. the more efficient you become at riding a bike. So I would share a couple of things. Change it up sometimes. You don't want your body to become too efficient, because efficient means it's not burning as many calories for that activity. Pick something you love and is sustainable. That's the most important. If you don't love it, if you can't learn to enjoy it, you won't do it long term. So that's very important. I would recommend some form of resistance training. It doesn't have to be heavy weights. Yes, women can do resistance training too. It's not going to cause you to bulk up. It will cause you to uh, firm up and transform some of your body in ways that are desirable, whatever that means for you. But resistance training can be weights, it can be body weight. You think of things like push ups or resistance bands. It doesn't have to be heavy. The main thing is enjoy yourself and be safe. I want to talk about a couple more waterfalls. We've got about 9 minutes left. Thank you so much again, everybody, for joining today. We got another comment here. You have climbed Mount W in Massachusetts. Whoa, 2,000 feet. I bet. Hey, M&T, thank you for joining so much. I hope you are having a wonderful day, family. Please go back and watch this in its entirety when you get a chance. I am working toward watch hours, and I thank you so much for joining today. More comments, everybody speaking to each other. Muscle Shock is mixing it up. Yes, it is, Joe. You have to mix things up. Our bodies are so good at becoming efficient. That is an evolutionary process, so we have to change it up. Back to the Massachusetts hike comment. I would love to hike in the Northeast. One of my offices is in Maine, and it is really cold in the winter. I would never dream of hiking in the winter, but I want to get up there in the summer and hike with some of my coworkers. We kind of joke that I envy them in the summer and they envy me in the winter, because they are hiking all summer long in Massachusetts and Maine and all of those wonderful mountains up in the Northeast where it's nice and cool. You got good elevation and you don't have that Tennessee humidity. But during the winter, that's my favorite time to hike. You don't have a lot of tree canopy, so you can really see the views. The waterfalls are the best during the winter. They're absolutely the best during the winter. You got the most runoff, you got the most volume. You have less people during the winter. Now, I'm not saying I don't like people. I love people. But when you're hiking, sometimes it's good to have some solitude. That's always nice. You don't have snakes in the winter. We have a couple of poisonous snakes here. Copperheads are the main snake to watch out for in Tennessee during the summer. And poison ivy. Different trails have different levels of maintenance. I have shared, for instance, a local trail that's up the road, Graysville RMA, also called Roaring Creek. That's a tough trail to go during the summer because you will get poison ivy. But during the winter, fantastic. There's some local history there. They've done a lot of coal mining. You can see some ancient stone structures. The creek is out of this world. You can climb up and see a lot of the valley. So it's really fantastic. Bronzebird says, I thrive on solitude. Yes, that is special time on the trail. It is. And here's the thing about solitude. Life is so noisy. Life is so busy. If you can get out in nature and enjoy God's creation, that does so much. That will lower your blood pressure. That will really help with your mental and your spiritual peace. That will allow you to be quiet and listen. We pray and we wonder, why don't you answer, God? Well, maybe we're not being quiet and listening. You have a lot of bears. Yes, Black bears aren't as scary. I agree. We have some black bears in this area. Most of them are up in the Smoky Mountains, which are a couple hours away. Occasionally, there'll be a bear. Haven't really run into very many bears. We have some bobcats as well. We have about 5 minutes left in this live stream. I want to take this time before it ends to thank everybody for joining today. This has been awesome. I want to encourage you to look in the description of this video or go to my community post or go over to Joe at Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek and look at all the other amazing live streams that are happening today as part of this Hype-A-Thon event. We are growing the right way. We are growing together. We are a community of content creators. So thank you so much for joining today. I will be joining many of your live streams throughout the day. I have some appointments. I'll have some family time scheduled. But when those things aren't happening, I will be listening in. Whether I can comment or not, I will be listening in to help us all grow the right way. So thank you for that. One thing I want to address real quickly, I had a question from a fellow content creator who is not creating anymore relating to how to deal with the public eye. It's tough. These YouTube streets and these Facebook streets they have some great people like the ones on the content chat today, but they also have some challenges. Put some good guardrails in place. I have had to put some guardrails in place that have caused me to not grow as quickly, but it's the right thing to do. Also, I have to understand my identity. I love YouTube. I enjoy YouTube. As long as I enjoy it, I will continue to do it. If I don't enjoy it someday, I will say farewell. However, it does not identify who I am as a person. I hope to be making ad revenue real soon, but I know it's not going to replace my full-time income anytime soon. How many likes, follows, subscribes I get does not identify my value as a person. I will continue to hike. I will continue to wear my kilt. I will continue to seek adventure, whether social media validates that or not. And finally, I know whose I am. The Word of God tells me I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I have a bright hope in a future. If God be for me, who can be against me? So these trolls, these people who are haters, these people who are out here on social media, putting comments, hateful things, just ignore them, block them, use the tools that these creators, these platforms have given us, and then move on. And I understand that anxiety and fear is a real thing. But you have to understand who you are, and I hope you understand whose you are. Thank you so much, family. Amen. We got 2 minutes left today. Thank you so much. I am trying to get some watch hours. I know this helped. If you have a chance later to go back and watch the full episode, we had some great conversations, some great interaction with many content creators today. Check out the playlist. We have a bunch of playlists. We have waterfalls. We have kilted hiking adventures. We have, what are some other playlists you might be interested in? Top 10 facts. Do you want to know some facts about things that you didn't know before? Check that video out. Cumberland Trail. Cumberland Trail is going to be the longest contiguous trail in the state of Tennessee. Lots of things there. Travel. Maybe you're not into hiking. Maybe you're interested in a lot of the travel that I've done, whether it's to the Northeast, whether it's to Texas, Mississippi, Colorado, Georgia. I like to travel. Check those playlists out. Bunches of things. We got fall colors if you're into that. We've had some collaborations. More of that is coming. Colleges and universities, Virginia, West Virginia, some of the most beautiful country in the entire world. Some of the wildernesses there are the most remote in the eastern United States, so check those out as well. Again, thank you so much. We are at time. I am blessed to have you join me today. God bless you. Get out, be outdoors, be active. Check out these other Hype-A-Thon creators and seek adventure.